Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and I'm on to give a recap of the most recent events happening within the post-strip ecosystem and give my honest opinions and thoughts. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, and you should always do your own research. And if you have not hit that subscribe button, I ask that you hit that subscribe button as it'll greatly help me out. So, if you have been living under a rock, treasury bills are live on PulseChain, right? Many of us within the ecosystem are aware, but if you're not, that's a thing now. You can easily mint those with PLS or XTDRIP on our website. So, quick backstory with regards to TDRIP for me. I bought it as a tradable token on the Ethereum side. The goal was to get in at a low price point of that 401 and buy like 3 million. That did not work out well for me at all because the price shot up significantly, so I bought higher than expected, and I only ended up with like 106k worth of T drip. Not the end of the world. It wasn't like a big amount of money I put into it, but just wanted to be completely transparent there. But we'll get more to looking at the treasury bills because I was airdropped some X strip and I just kind of put that into treasury bills and just kind of let it work and earn passive income. And then here it says the T drip garden is live, funded with 80% of the supply. So I like that. We are adding another position to the post drip garden, and in turn that'll help increase the TVL in the garden. And it says here, boost your T-drip holdings by minting treasury bills with PLS and earn up to 400% ROI. So that's a bonus there. You get more of an ROI, kind of like the longer you hold. And then here, lastly, limited Dallas spots open. First 15 members can join by buying 1 million T-drip and completing the Google form for entry. So if you're interested, that information is there. Now, so for me, I put in roughly like 55, 60 bucks in the treasury bill because again, the goal was to buy at the bottom and that didn't work out. However, I was airdropped some X strip. So I essentially what I did is I just clicked that and I was able to create my treasury bill. So when this is all said and done, I'll have this amount of T drip. So this will be expire in 141 days. Now the good news is this number here has increased. Like it was like in the $20 range something. Again, not a big position at all. Not too worried about it. But it was nice to see this kind of moving up. And again, in crypto, stranger things have happened. Like what if the price of T-Drip gets to 1 cent? Then we're kind of talking about something. So who knows what could potentially happen there. Now, looking at this from an honest perspective, the price of post-strip has pulled back. We are all aware of it. We can see it from that $100 price point, right? It was at that $100 price point and it's pulled back to $8.83. It's still up from launch price, but that is, again, that's a significant. It post strip at one point would always stay above like that $11 mark and it would never go below that. But that has kind of changed now, right? Here, with the H2O price, it has pulled back since that all-time high. Now, so it's right around the launch price now. Could be an opportunity to do some DCA into H2O because you don't want to buy the top of things, right? And we know how explosive H2O is for P-Drip, right? Like if the community wells into H2O, we know that it'll explode the price of post-drip, right? That is it. That's essentially it. And if enough people well into it, it'll pump this price. So something to think about there. The PLS price is holding strong at 406345. And then the Faucet count has went up. And then here's what we're looking at with the Garden TVL. with my faucets. Here's kind of where I'm sitting with that amount. Is slowly but surely kind of going up there. And let's see. Just kind of looking at that. Yep, and then that's kind of like my daily ROI there. So yeah, so I'm wondering if this changed, right? Because remember when we did a claim, it went back to that 0.50%, right? So could this have potentially changed where it is officially 1% per day, no matter what, whether you compound or claim? So that's kind of interesting because I did claim some profits yesterday, and I just on camera kind of noticed that. So if that has been a change by the team, I would definitely applaud it. It could help towards that sentiment of just always having that 1% per day as opposed to having that up to 1% per day. That's a difference. So I just kind of noticed that actually. So one other thing too, yesterday I want to point this out to the community. When you are claiming and taking profits, I changed this to 15% yesterday and it went through. So you could save on some fees if you, instead of putting in 17%, you put in 15%, and that could be a game changer, right? So you can save a little bit. So play around with this number when you are doing your swap, right? And as for the swap, right? If we could get this swap, the vendor that had put together kind of this widget for us, if we can get this fully functional, that would definitely save the community even more money on their swap. So, definitely if Matt and Eric, if they can, talk with the vendor to get that done, that would definitely be appreciated for the community to save a little bit on, doing that swap because you always want to buy from the native DEX. One other thing with this particular point here, it would be cool. Again, it's a big axe. It would be cool to have some sort of Fiat On Ramp because not everybody, like for us that are DGens, we are easy. It's easy for us to kind of swap in and out of things, right? Because we're used to using bridges and using simple swap and using change now. But if there's an option to simply, buy with a debit card, buy with a credit card, right? And kind of buy what you want because, for example, a lot of people that are trying to buy teddy bear, those there's some new people that are kind of entering into teddy bear positions, right? And I've been kind of explaining to them kind of how to buy it. And some people it's easy for them to understand and others is not, right? So it would be nice to have whether you can buy with a debit card or a bank account and simply buy, you know, PulseDrip, H2O, T-Drip, buy Teddy Bear, buy Atropa, buy any asset that is available within the garden, simply buy it. Now again, there's a lot of paperwork involved with something like that. It might not be something that the team was able to pull off, but again, just giving my honest thoughts because here's the thing. If all of those fees and some of those trading fees are coming back to the platform because they are using our Fiat On Ramp, right? And all that money and revenue is flowing back into the ecosystem. It could be beneficial. Now, again, there's cost versus revenue involved, right? It has to make sense from a profit perspective too. It has to make sense, right? Just spitballing ideas and just kind of throwing that out there. My honest thoughts. So let's see what else. Oh, the bonds. The bonds have been like a surprise. So here's the deal. With the bonds, I've already ROI'd and then some, and then 3x my money on the bonds because I bought the bottom. I got this part right. So I love the bonds, right? But here's the deal. Here's how much I've claimed out. And look at this. Even like it's only 27 bucks, right? Again, it's additional ROI, but this is 1,015 H2O, right? Like imagine the price of H2O spikes up. Now, again, like I said, stranger things are happening. I'm like wishing for the stars here, but I'm gonna let this run to see if it gets up to 4%. It may stop. It may stop at some point, and it may not even get up to 4%. But the rest of this, I'm just gonna let it run to see what it does. And if I can squeeze out an additional bag of PDRIP and just throw it in my faucet, that's what I'm gonna do. So that's cool there. But like I said, I'm a fan of the bonds. I like it, and could be potentially adding like another position here and kind of get that going since we're kind of at the bottom of H2O bond price, right? And I think we already talked about the treasury bills. I think I already showed you that. Here's kind of what this is looking. This is the buy and burn feature. Looks like you can T-drip bot and burn and H2O bot and burn, and then you can earn PLS rewards, I want to say. Not sure how all this works, but I guess you hit the activate button and something happens. But, this is kind of cool to see here. And anybody in the community can get that activated. Let's see what else is going on. The garden, like mentioned, there's T-drip has been added in here. So that's cool there. Oh, one other thing. So I guess there is a maximum compound limit. So be kind of mindful of that. There is a maximum compound limit. So you want to make sure that you claim out enough rewards before it hits that 300%, if that makes sense, right? So this is so for me it's a little bit different though. These were all referral rewards, right? And so for me, I would probably need to add to this in order to maybe get some of these rewards, or maybe not. Maybe I might be at a loss, but who knows? So it's not like it's a lot. I plan to add to this to see what it does, to see if it will allow me to use some of these available claims. It may not. It may completely reset and do absolutely nothing. Again, these were only referral rewards, so the only option it gives you is to recompound in with those referral rewards, but we will see what happens there. So, lastly, for me, do I want this project to succeed? Absolutely. Because it's bigger than just me, right? I want this project to succeed for the people on my team, right? I want it to succeed for them. I want this project to succeed for the post-drip community, right? For the post-drip community. But it's even bigger than the post-drip community. This is PulseChain as a whole, having more eyes on PulseChain and people knowing about post-drip and these suite of investment opportunities that they have, whether it's the faucet, the bonds, treasury bills, buy and burn, the garden, right? It's about getting that mass adoption on PulseChain, right? And essentially having a lot of different projects that are where you can go and get some passive income, right? Right? Because that's what we want. At the end of the day, we want people to think of okay, what's going on with PulseChain, right? Right? And this be one of the projects people look at and say, hey, I can earn some additional passive income. Because some people, they just don't know all they know, some people, is just a buy and hold, and that's it, right? They don't know about these different opportunities. So yes, it's bigger than me. Richard Hart has already built a blockchain. We just got to do our part to make it successful, if that makes sense, right? So that's my thoughts, right? On my honest thoughts on and how it works and how it feels, and you know, doing like bullish things for the community. Like again, like I said before, like if I'm reading this correctly, and this is back up to 1% overall, then that definitely could change. Now I could be reading that wrong, but I just claimed some yesterday, and this is still at 1%. At 1%, yeah, yeah, it's still at 1%, and this is kind of slowly ticking up throughout the day. So that's it. That's kind of what's on my mind. You know, positive vibes from what I can tell within the Telegram. I kind of briefly check in here and there when I can. And, that's it. If anything else comes to mind and on this project, to give my honest thoughts and opinions, right? Again, we have within PulseChain, we have some great passive income projects, right? We know about PulseTrip, right? We know about Warren Finance that's been kind of just launched. We know about SparkSwap, which is that people know about. So, let's keep the ball rolling with these different projects, and let's win as a collective for PulseChain and kind of go from there. All right. Thanks for listening, and thanks for stopping by.